everybody. Today is Terrific Tuesday. It's terrific because we're going to talk about one of my favorite places, and it has to do with Hiawassee, and it has to do with Lake Chattooga, and it has to do with camping, it has to do with Loretta Lynn and Merle Haggard and George Jones and all those that have gone before us. And they went before us because Miss Hilda Thomason called them and said, hey, do y'all want to come visit? And Miss Hilda, you have brought so much amazing talent to North Georgia.
We really have. Over the years, I've been there 44 years. We're celebrating 75 years this year.
Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And it's all about music and entertainment and just really letting people have a good time there at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. And there's so many families that have come over the years, and then they're bring their children and grandchildren, and they just keep coming back and enjoying what we have to offer there.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, we've worked on a video thinking about every aspect of the Georgia Mountain Fair, and there's something for everybody. There's something for everybody.
There is something.
And I think my favorite thing was going through that building that has the old organs and the old tools,
yes,
and the lifestyle that our grandparents lived.
Absolutely. That's the Antique Farm Museum there on the fairgrounds, and it is an interesting museum to go to and see all that, and all that equipment that farmers used many years ago back in the 1900s, and I'm still getting equipment. I had a guy call yesterday from Madison, Georgia, wanting to donate a piece of equipment. We're going down to pick it up, and then we had a guy from Hall County call wanting to donate a stove, a whole wood cook stove, and we're going to pick that up. Just all the time, people, but they see how we take care of all that stuff.
It's awesome, yeah.
And they got all these pieces that's stuck in a barn somewhere, nobody ever sees it, and they wanted to give it to somebody that can enjoy it, and the people can enjoy it.
Sure,
you know?
sure. You know what, the one thing missing, and I don't know how we could create this, but I was looking at an old house up in North Carolina, and one of my favorite memories as a childhood, Kelly Bridge Road in Dawson County, going to my great-grandma's house and going out to the well curb and drawing the water out of the bucket out of the well. Is there any way we could create a well there?
You know, you'd have to, that'd be like a hand-dug well, and I've got one of those at my house, actually.
Yeah, but
and you got a bucket you put down in there.
That is such a great experience for a kid to see that fresh water coming up.
That is, it's an experience for sure.
And nothing tastes any better.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
That would be something we'd have to work on, but it might be possible, yes.
It might be possible.
Yes.
And even if you did it not such a deep well, but just for the experience. And I know there's a house in Ball Ground that has a well there, and they put a screen over it, actually a grate is what it is, so nobody could fall in it, you know, and then the kids can look down there and they can actually still see the water, and you could draw that water up, and it is a cool experience.
It'd be a demonstration for them, that's for sure.
Yeah.
A good place to put that would be there in Pioneer Village where the old mountain home's at.
Exactly.
That old mountain home is really neat, and you go in there and it's got the straw bed, and it's got the quilts on top, and it's got an old fireplace, and it's got the pots and pans where people actually cooked on the fire in the fireplace. That's the only. Didn't have no kitchen, running water or anything, and no electricity.
And that's true, because old houses had the kitchen often out back in what we would call an outbuilding. You know, that's where a lot of the women cooked. And then later in life, they started bringing it into the house.
Yeah.
Because they would have a front room and a bedroom often.
And that was about, and then no electricity, of course.
No.
And they just had the oil lamps sitting up on the hearth. It was pretty neat, really. So that's kind of what we have in Pioneer Village, is all these old-timey buildings. We have an old general store there, Tabor's Mercantile Store.
Now, where did that building come from?
Actually came from Ellijay.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have a one-room schoolhouse that was brought there and erected and put back together, and that schoolhouse was in Towns County, and people went to school. It's a one-room schoolhouse.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Now, who was the gentleman who helped us on the tour? I can't remember his name. He's one of the grounds guys.
Probably, was it Richard?
Trace, was it Richard? I can't remember. Nice gentleman.
It started with an R, but I can't remember.
It must have been Richard.
I bet it was.
Nice guy, and he opened the buildings and let us go in and let us see and I'd never taken the time to do that.
What about that? A lot of people don't. They just come there for one thing, the crafts, or they come for the music, and they don't take time to go out on the grounds and see all the great things that we have to offer.
And I love that old wagon sitting there. It was beautiful, and you had so many pretty flowers around it. Yeah,
there's a lot to see and do there on the grounds, and a lot of stages on the grounds where you can go and sit and listen to the music at the different stages too. So
Now, do y'all still have like the old-timey country fairs where you have the jelly judged and the honey judged and different things like
We
that?
have changed that a little bit. We used to do that and still do it some in the exhibit hall there. We have tables of fresh vegetables and canned goods and things like that. But, you know, a lot of people don't have gardens no more, and
I
they
know.
don't can no more, and they don't freeze no more like
I
we
know,
do.
I know.
You know, so a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff is kind of passed on through the generations, you know, and
uh-huh.
you don't have as much of it as you used to have. But we still try to do some of it, and we have ground entertainment there, and we have like 68 arts and crafts booths where we have all the artists that have crafts and all. They're demonstrating or selling their items, some really nice crafts. So need to come out and see all that and really take time to enjoy it. And of course, we have a big carnival, Amusements of America, and they're doing something really cool this year. They're going to offer rides for 75 cents. We're doing a celebration for the Georgia Mountain Fair the night before the fair
75
opens.
cents, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we're going to have, it's going to be kind of like a show. We're going to do some clogging, we're going to do music, we're going to have refreshments, we're going to do fireworks, all kinds of, we're bringing back all the queens, the former queens from Miss Georgia Mountain Fair, introduce them, and it's going to be a really fun party.
Yeah.
And have that the night before, but the carnival's going to do the 75-cent ride. So I thought that was kind of neat.
And what night will that be? What's the date?
That's on Thursday, August the 14th. That's the night before the fair opens.
Put it on your calendar, August the 14th.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we have some great events coming up before the fair that I need to talk a little bit about. Memory Lane Car Show, that's coming up April the 25th and
25th and 26th.
Yeah, we'll have about 200 cars there registered for the car show. And then that same weekend, on Friday night, April the 25th, we got Justin Moore in concert. And get your tickets and come out and
And
see
for
Justin.
y'all who know that I do stuff on Facebook, I have some Justin Moore tickets I'm going to give away. And if you pay attention to today's program and then you get on my Facebook and you're brilliant and you can answer the question first, because today, pay attention to what we talk about. Because one of the things we talk about will be the question I ask on Facebook tonight when you get to win 4 tickets to see Justin Moore.
Yes, that'd be a great present to win, wouldn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
But coming up Mother's Day weekend is really something I'm excited about. It's our Hiwassee Highlands Wine Festival. We'll have about 30 wineries there. It'll be local wineries too
Yeah.
in North Georgia, which is really good. So you can buy a ticket and it's unlimited tasting, and we'll have music there on the grounds. We'll have vendors, all kinds of fun things going. And that night on Saturday night, May the 10th, we have Gary Allen in concert, and he is awesome. I'm telling you, we had him 2 years ago and he sold out. And he's already, looks like he's going to sell out again. It's getting very close. So get your tickets and spend Mother's Day weekend there. It's also the Rhododendron Festival, and that actually starts, the Rhododendron Festival starts April the 12th and goes through May the 11th. And that'll start this weekend. But I went to the gardens one day this week, and it's absolutely beautiful up there. It is. And all the plants, if you want to buy plants, we have plants for sale, rhododendrons, azaleas, bedding plants, ferns, all kinds of beautiful plants for sale. And it's a little bit early yet for the rhododendrons to bloom, but the azaleas are starting, and of course the dogwoods. So pretty, beautiful. And then on May the 17th, we've got the Georgia Mountain Fire and Smoke Cooking Festival. We'll have about 125 cooks there cooking on the big green eggs, the primos, all kinds of grills, and you buy a taster's ticket and you go through there and taste all that food all day long. It starts out at 9 o'clock in the morning with breakfast.
Wow.
And we go right on into lunch, and you ought to see some of the recipes and things they do. We'll have cooking classes there. There'll be
now, are there contests that somebody wins on this?
No, it's just people that want to go. It's like almost like I say it's a cult, but it's not really a cult. But they go to a lot of different egg fests and cook, and I've got somebody that helps me, volunteers that knows all these cooks. And then we had this Green Egg Fest for 10 years, and then we didn't do it for a couple of years. We started it back, and we changed the name of it to Georgia Mountain Fire and Smoke Cooking Festival. And we have a lot of primos along with the eggs. But there's entertainment there on the grounds. We've got a bluegrass band that'll be playing, and you can enjoy the music, do the tastings, and there'll be several vendors set up. It's just a really fun event. And then we have rodeos coming up. We got 2 rodeos.
Kids love that, don't they?
They love
Yeah,
rodeos. Yes, they do. We got our first one coming up Memorial Day weekend, and then we have one Labor Day weekend. So get your tickets and come out and enjoy that. That'll be Saturday and Sunday, May 24th and 25th. And then the very next weekend, May 30th, is Night Ranger. This is a rock concert. That'll be coming up on Friday night, May the 30th.
Okay, what kind of rock music?
Well, it's like you know, I don't know exactly what to say when I say rock, but I guess Southern rock, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was wondering,
Yeah.
like Confederate Railroad, that
Yeah,
kind of stuff,
yeah.
because they did that.
Yeah. And then we have Happy Together Tour, and that's coming up Friday, June the 6th. And you talk about a busy weekend on the weekend of June the 6th. We got Happy Together Tour on Friday night, June the 6th. We got Travis Tritt on Saturday night, June the 7th. And then we also have the Scottish Festival, the 7th and the 8th, the Saturday and Sunday. And the Scottish Festival has been in Blairsville, Georgia for 20 years, and they've outgrown Meeks Park there, and they're was needing a new venue. So they contacted me wanting to come to the fairgrounds. So this will be their first time to come to the fairground, and that's going to be a big thing for us. And that whole weekend is going to probably be 12,000 people in town.
Wow.
I mean, that's how big it is.
And we say it all the time, you are literally responsible for, from the Georgia-Florida line, people start planning their events. And so you even do billboards in South Georgia.
We do.
Because people leave Florida with the destination of Hiawassee, Georgia.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to Savannah, Georgia. It's going to be not this week, but next week we're going down there to do a TV show, a live TV show to talk about the Hamilton Gardens and the fairgrounds and all the upcoming events. So yes, we go all the way down to the Florida line and bring them out of Florida into Georgia.
and they're so happy when they leave Florida and they leave the gnats and the heat, and they're just like, oh, we're going to Georgia.
Yeah, going to North Georgia, the prettiest place in the state.
That's right. That's right.
It is a beautiful area, and I'm just so thankful to have lived there all my life and get to enjoy it.
It's so weird because as many times as we've been, I never thought about boating on Lake Chattooga. So to me, it's a whole new avenue. Bring your family, rent one of the big pontoons. They hold 13 people.
Oh, I know.
And go out and spend half a day on the water, and then go in that afternoon for all the concerts and all the exhibits and all the things at the fair.
Yeah.
So it gives you a whole new vacation. And I said, would you not rather be on a lake safe in North Georgia than driving to the beach? Are you kidding me? And that water is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and
It's beautiful.
when all the trees get in full bloom and everything. And Mother's Day weekend is about the tree, all the leaves are on it. It's absolutely beautiful. We took my mother when she was alive out there on a pontoon boat for Mother's Day, and she just loved it. It was so pretty. The whole
it's
family
a great family experience because you can hang out, you can park the boat in the middle of the lake and just sit there and just have a picnic in the middle of the lake. I mean, it was a whole new thing for me.
Yeah.
And once we did it, I was like, now this is how I want to do it again.
Yeah, and it covers Georgia and North Carolina. The lake does, Lake Chattooga. Beautiful lake and surrounded by the mountains. A lot of national forests. It even makes it more special, you know, so it's really nice. We have, like I said, Travis Tritt and the Scottish Festival and the Happy Together Tour all coming up in June the 6th, 7th, and the 8th. So that's going to be a really busy weekend for us. So get your tickets for all that. I would definitely get Travis Tritt soon because there's probably 100 tickets left. I mean, it's getting close.
Wow.
And then we have the Hiawassee Rod Run. This is a second year to have the Rod Run. It's coming up June the 19th, 20th, and 21st. And we just booked a concert to go with that Rod Run. It's going to be Saturday, June the 21st. It's called Revisit Credence. It's like Credence Clearwater Revival Tribute Band. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And those tickets are on sale. And you talk about some good music now. About
You know,
teenagers.
Credence, that music, I don't care how old you are today or how old you were when they came out. I was sitting in a restaurant in Atlanta 100 years ago, and Green River came on the jukebox, and I just, that is a great song.
Yes.
Today, that is still a great song.
It is. They have some great songs, and I think people, when they come out to see this concert, they're going to relive their teenage years and their years that we was. I mean, the music was so popular back when we was teenagers, and we danced to it and had fun. I think people's going to love that. And then also on June the 28th, Summer Heat, which is a fundraiser, will be held there at the fairgrounds. That's coming up June the 28th, and it'll be an event that the Towns County firefighters are doing, and along with a group that's going to, the money will help the fire department, the sheriff's department, the police department, the 911, all of it. It's a fundraiser for all that. They're going to have that outside there, inside the craft area. Then on July 4th, we have our annual fireworks show. And that's going to be July the 4th at 9:45. And we got all these activities planned. We got food booths, and come out and make a fun weekend there at the fairgrounds and enjoy the. We have a beautiful fireworks show.
And speaking of firefighters, there are firefighters from several states out west here in Georgia and North Carolina fighting the fires that are still happening.
They are. I just met some of them last night at the Hampton Inn in Blue Ridge. They were from Idaho. They were from California. They're here. They help in North Georgia and Western Carolina, because there is some really major fires. And they needed help, so they brought them all in. And I mean, that must have been probably 20 of them there.
Well, and it's been 10 days since we went to Waynesville, and the fire was then, and the fire is still happening.
Yeah,
so we're talking 14 days of fire.
Yeah, and even after all that rain, according to them last night, when it rains that hard, it just gets the top layer, and all that's still smoldering under those leaves. So it starts right back up.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And I think the last thing I saw was about 3,500 acres in one state and about that many in another state, between Georgia and North Carolina.
And what's so sad about it, North Carolina, the Asheville and the Waynesville and
like they needed something else.
I know they've been through so much tragedy and then have to go through the fires. It just breaks my heart to see all that. I mean, they've really had a hard time, and I just pray that they take care of it and get it put out, because it's really a serious problem.
It is.
Another fundraiser that we're having, the Hiawassee Downtown Development is going to be doing a tribute band. It's called A1A Official Jimmy Buffett Tribute Band. And that, talk about some good music there now. That's going to be fun. That's going to be coming up July the 19th there at the Music Hall. You can buy a table. The tables are $420 each. It's a table of 6, and it'll have some food on it, and 2 bottles of wine, and then if you want to just buy individual tickets, you can do that too. But it's a fundraiser for the Hiawassee Downtown Development. So everybody come out and get your tickets. They're on sale now, and just have a fun weekend there with a little Jimmy Buffett music. And then the laser show. This is something new that we did last year, and it went over so well. I bet we had 3,500 people there for the laser show. It was people and kids, especially children. Oh, they had so much fun. And that's going to be July the 26th. And the tickets are $10 and under 12 is free. So get your tickets. We'll have some food vendors and all kinds of activities. We'll have a band. All that will be taking place before we have the laser show. Last year we had this foam pit for the kids to play in, and you talk about having fun now. I've never seen children have so much fun, and we have all kinds of.
Not only do they have fun, they wear out, and then they rest on the way home.
Yeah, they go to sleep. Yeah. But this year, like I said earlier, we're celebrating 75 years at the Georgia Mountain Fair. August the 15th through the 23rd is the Georgia Mountain Fair, but we're doing a big celebration on August the 14th there at the Music Hall. So it's open, free admission. It's open to everybody to come and enjoy it, and all of our campers will be checked in to get ready for the fair. So want people to come out and take part in that. And we have a lady, Vonda Morton, that has done the history of the Georgia Mountain Fair back in the 80s. She published a book about the history of the fair, but she's updated that now. And so we're going to have that the night of the celebration. And it'll be available for sale if you want to buy a copy of it. That'll be there as well. So come out and get you a cupcake and enjoy the refreshments, the music. We're going to bring, like I said, we're going to bring back some of the clogging. We got, and another thing that
clogging is one of my favorite things, and I miss it.
I know.
I love
so many people do.
Yeah.
They really do. We used to have as many as 125 clogging teams there. But that shows you how times change. You know, you got to where you couldn't get the clogging teams.
Well, in Woodstock, there's still several groups of people who do clogging.
Yeah, there's a few. Yeah, and you might could put it back together just on a smaller scale. You know, but White Espin, who is a singer-songwriter, and he helps with the ground entertainment. He's going to get a group together, and they're going to clog. So I think that'll be good. And he's been teaching, this is so cool, he's been teaching music down at John C. Campbell Folk School. And the other night I went to the Peacock Playhouse there in Hayesville to see White Espin and the Riverstones, see him perform. And he brought all those students from John C. Campbell. He had like 15 students across the stage that he'd been teaching music to. They all had banjos, guitars, fiddles, violins, all the different. And they did a couple of songs there before he came on stage. You talk about wonderful. And they're going to bring them to the celebration on August the 14th at the Fairgrounds and let them perform there. Because we're all about music anyway. And it was just so touching seeing those. And I'm talking about 6 to 8 to teenagers. I mean, all different ages, you know. It was really neat seeing all that. I enjoyed it so much. But August the 15th through the 23rd is the Georgia Mountain Fair. And during the fair, we got some great entertainment coming up. I don't have all my brochures ready yet. We're getting them printed. But Herman Hermits with Peter Noon, we've had them there several times. And I didn't have them last year. And everybody said, oh, please bring them back. So they're going to be there August the 15th, opening day of the Georgia Mountain Fair. And then on August the 16th is Crowder. This is a contemporary Christian concert. We had Crowder there last year and completely sold out. and we're bringing back Crowder, and those tickets are really selling well.
And let's talk a minute about the music. The Pulse is new, and a
Yes.
lot of people had been whining and complaining and yada yada, because WLJA was a staple in the
Right.
community for years and years and years. But I'm getting addicted to the Pulse because I listen to it and it's upbeat, happy music. But I gotta tell y'all what I did this morning. They play really upbeat, good Christian music. It's not depressing and sad like a lot of stuff I used to play, because that's what I grew up on. But this morning, I was kind of rocking to this Christian rock music, and about we're speeding.
Oh, surely
Because
not.
I was just not paying attention. I looked down and said, "Oh, slow down." But the music was feel-good music.
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
feel-good music.
I've
yeah.
met with the station since they've changed to the Pulse. They came over and we all had lunch together, and we're doing business with them. And I think it's like a 50,000 watt station now.
Yeah.
And they're covering a good area. They really are.
Yeah.
And I think people's going to enjoy that. They're just got to give them a little time.
Got to give them some time. And the one thing that everybody was complaining about is they don't do the obituaries. Well, I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't live in Dalton. I don't live in Chattanooga. I don't live in Fort whatever, Oglethorpe. I didn't want to hear all that over and over and over. If you live in the area, pick up the phone and call your local funeral home. They all offer that service,
yeah.
and you can listen to it yourself. The whole world doesn't have to hear who died in Dalton, because honestly, that wasn't something that was of interest to us. So I think I didn't think I'd say these words. I think it's a lot better, and I
Yeah.
think you just got to get used to it. But I've heard so many really good songs I'd never heard before.
Right.
But again, they're positive, upbeat, about Jesus and lives he's changing.
Right.
It's really different. It's not and I love the old gospel. I love old gospel
Well, that's
music.
what we was raised on.
I love it.
It's what we heard all the time.
But
in our
this is a
churches.
very pleasant change.
Yeah, I think it's some good music. I really do. And I've met, like I said, I've met the owner, and he's just super nice and very confident about his business. And of course, my salesman Jennifer, I've dealt with her for years when it was just WLJA. But
Yeah.
no, I think you have to hand it to them. They're doing a good job. Really.
Yeah.
I think so.
They make me feel good coming to work. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
like,
good thing.
I'm like, da da da.
And then on Saturday, August the 17th, this is kind of music now you and I was raised on. The Inspirations.
Oh yes.
The
yes.
Carolina, the band,
Yeah.
and Triumph Quartet. They're all
Yes.
going to be
Oh
there.
yes, we love that. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
that's really good music. And
And you know what's so weird? The Inspirations, those kids are the most talented group ever. Now, they will never be the original Inspirations, but they are nailing it. They're winning every award. They are so super talented.
well, people
They
like
sound
them.
like the old ones.
Yeah,
you
people
know?
really like them too.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of requests for them. I tell you, two groups that I really miss that I had there every year. They're no longer performing. It's the McCameys and the Primitive Quartet.
Right,
I miss
right.
them so much, and I had them
Yep.
there forever and ever and
Yep.
ever. And we had Jerry Goff there doing the church services.
He
for
did the
over
last
50
church
years.
service. We were there that day, and then not long after that, he started having health issues.
He went
yeah.
downhill pretty fast and passed away. But I just have such great memories of all that. You know, it's just wonderful. But at 11 o'clock on that day, August the 17th, the Jim Dykes, who is the pastor up in a big church in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's the Primitives Quartet. Reagan Riddle, it's his son-in-law is who this is. His name is Jim Dykes, and he'll be doing the church services that morning at 11 o'clock. And then August the 21st, which is Gene Watson and the Bellamy Brothers, we had them there last year, and they completely sold out. So
You know that Gene Watson does those songs that you never get over.
I know.
You just
and
he
can
is
still
he
sing
is
and
he is that amazing man who's still going at 81.
Yeah, he's 81 or 82.
Yeah,
And
crazy.
I remember his birthday's in October because he used to be there at the fairgrounds. It would be real close to his birthday, and everybody wanted to bring him birthday cake. We'd have him eat it backstage. But Gene Watson and the Bellamy Brothers are just a good combination. And the Bellamy Brothers have still got it too. I love their music. I mean, it makes you want to get up and dance and just have a really good time. And get those tickets because, like I said, that show sold out last year, and I think it will again this year. And Molly Tuttle and the Graskels. I don't know how much you know about Molly Tuttle, but she has started winning all kinds of awards. She's bluegrass, Americana, folk, and I'm telling you, she is amazing, her talent. And the Graskels is also amazing. That's a bluegrass day, so all the bluegrass fans come out and enjoy that show. That'll be on August the 22nd during the fair. The show's at 7. The gates open at the music hall opens at 6, so be sure you get that in. And then Lori Morgan and T. Graham Brown is coming together August the 23rd. And T. Graham Brown always draws. He's a good Georgia boy from Commerce, Georgia. And him and Lori are doing some on tour together this year, so I booked that package. And that is...
the only thing that ever comes to mind with her is the red dress. Remember that song?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
yes.
looking for something, yeah, over and over in my head.
Yes. She's got some good songs and good music, I think Lori has. And then, of course, during the fair, you know, we're going to have all kinds of arts and crafts. We got 68 booths there. All the demonstrations in Pioneer Village will be going on. Then the exhibit hall and the Antique Farm Museum. We'll have a photography exhibit in the Hiawassee Garden Club will have the Hiawassee Garden Club Flower Show. This is a state judge show. That'll be going on during the fair. And then we have the racing pigs will be coming back for our ground entertainment. So they race for Oreos.
Not to be confused with a bunch of old ladies running to the buffet at the Golden Corral.
They really, people love it. Adults and children, though. They love the racing pigs. So we got them to come back for the fair this year. And then, of course, the carnival will be going on. Amusements of America, they're bringing some new rides. If you'll go to our website at georgiamountainfairgrounds.com, you'll see all of this. We're still, you know, adding things to it every day. But we'll have the brochures out here soon. We have some great food, great ice cream, funnel cakes. I mean, all that good fair food that makes you...
Everything you remember about the fair.
Yes, it's just wonderful.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we're celebrating 75 years this year. I think that's amazing to be able to do that.
We got to look back and give credit to all the hundreds of Lions who have volunteered.
Yes, when I first started at the fair in 1981, I can just remember all my board members that I had. They're all passed away just about it now. There's not but a few of them left. And you know, they worked so hard and gave so much to the community to make the fair, I mean, what it is, and come down there after they'd worked their full-time job and come and set up chairs and take down chairs and move this and move that. And
these were in years when Anderson Music Hall wasn't air conditioned.
Right, exactly. And a lot of it was under the tent. We didn't have nothing but a tent and a metal chair. So we moved down there to where we're at now in 1978. We used to have it at the old high school grounds there in downtown Hiawassee. The old school I went to school in, they tore the school down, of course, but I graduated there in 1973, and we had it there when I was a child growing up. I can remember all that, so much fun and wading through the mud, and just loved it. But we moved to the Fairgrounds in '78, and we've been down there. But we didn't have heat and air in the music hall for a long time, and we raised some money, and then we got a loan from TVA, and we were able to put heat and air in the music hall. You talk about a blessing now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
We'd die now if we had to be in there without any
yeah, because we're a bit spoiled.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we have a new event coming up Labor Day weekend. We'll have a rodeo as well, but it's called Bubbles and Boots Mimosa Festival. We went to Greenville, South Carolina to a mimosa festival, and I saw what a great event it was, and I thought, you know, we can do this in Hiawassee. So we've got like 20 different flavors of mimosas, and then we'll have music, we'll have vendors, we'll have food. We got a food truck coming that serves breakfast all day long.
Wow.
And I just think that's going to be a fun event. So come to that during the day, and you can go to the rodeo that night. And that's why we named it Boots and Bubbles, is because the boots for the rodeo and the bubbles for the mimosa. So that'll be a fun event. And those tickets are on sale as well. And then we have the Daily and Vincent Music Festival.
That's such a big draw.
It is. It's a 3-day event.
Yeah.
There at the Fairgrounds, and we have that September the 25th, 26th, and 27th. You can buy like a VIP ticket for all 3 days. You'll get to meet Daily and Vincent. That's the $225, $180 if you just want just a regular 3-day ticket. And then you can buy individual tickets. If you don't want individual tickets, you can buy those per day, whatever day you want to come. But that's a big event, and we've got some really good talent booked for that. We've got Diamond Rio coming. We've got Randy Travis. It's called his More Life Tour, and they bring Randy out on stage. Wow. They got Randy's full original band, and this guy by the name of James Dupree comes out and sings all of Randy's hits.
Wow.
And he sounds just like Randy, and Randy's sitting there, you know. It's just such a neat show, and it's called More Life Tour. That'll be there. We've got Rhonda Vincent coming.
And it was just a stroke, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a stroke, and he can't sing anymore, you know. But you talk about hits and good music. Oh my gosh, look what he done in his life.
I mean, and he's young. He's young.
He is young.
Yeah.
He really is. He's younger than I am. But that happened to him, and you know, he's making the best of
Yeah,
it. You know,
yeah.
that's really good. But we got John Conley coming. We have Crystal Gale.
Friday Night Blues.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Isn't he the one that sings that rose-colored glasses?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
And then we got Crystal Gale coming, and of course Daily and Vincent will be playing all 3 days. We got Bryce Leatherwood. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's actually a Georgia boy, I think, from Woodstock, and he was on American.
Oh,
I think
yeah, I
American
remember on
Idol.
American Idol.
Yeah. So he's getting a lot of play now, and we put him on the show. So we hope with all that we've got booked that people will come out and support that and buy the tickets and enjoy that great
Now, when
festival.
they came the first year, it was an experiment.
Yes.
They were just going to test the water in Georgia.
Yes.
And it's done
It's
very
done
well.
It really has. Yeah. The years I had it, like a couple of years before COVID, and it sold out. We had people, we rolled the doors up all the way around the building and turned the air conditioning on, and people were buying outside standing room and bringing their own was letting them bring their chairs in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been huge. But then after COVID hit, of course I didn't get to have nothing for a whole year, you know. I mean, it was pretty sad, really.
It was very sad.
But
yeah.
after we got to started back on the concerts and the events and everything, it seems like a lot of those people, because Daily Events has an older crowd that follow them, a lot of those people passed during COVID, so it hurt our attendance. So I mean, we've been trying to build it back up. So get your tickets and, like I said, come out and support it and see all the great
You
music.
know, when we look at COVID hit the music industry
Yes,
super
it did.
hard. You know, Charlie Pride.
Oh my gosh.
Think about it. And there were several who were not old enough to us think of being gone.
You know, Joe
COVID
Diffie,
got.
he died
Absolutely.
with COVID, and he's
yeah.
about my age or younger. I mean, he didn't make it.
It hit hard.
Yeah, a lot of people. And another thing is, you know, when I did start it back up, I had to distance people in the music hall. You couldn't sit
That's
close.
hard. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
it was so hard. And you was trying to sell reserve seats, and,
Yeah.
and you'd have to skip a few and sell a few more over here.
Yeah.
Just trying to. It was really tough. It was not a happy time for people. Then we have another tribute show coming up October the 4th. This is the Bob Seger tribute. We've had that there before, and that's the first weekend in October. Then, of course, the Fall Festival. It's hard to think about fall, but it'll be here for you to turn around.
It will.
That's coming up October the 10th through the 18th, and we're still working on that talent. We've got some of it, but I'm trying to get Clint Black confirmed for the Fall Festival. But we do have Ronnie McDowell.
You know, that would be a good question to win tonight, because who is Clint Black married to?
I know.
I know who he's married to. Do y'all know who he's married to?
Yes, I do.
That'd be a good question for tonight.
It would be a good question. You're smart, Sherry.
That'd be a good question, because people say, "Oh, I just can't imagine him and her." Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. But we have Neil McCoy and Ronnie McDowell will be there on October the 10th, and then we're hoping to
The
get
king is gone.
the King
Ronnie
is gone.
McDowell.
Yes. and
Wow.
we're hoping
Yeah.
to get Clint Black for October the 11th. We were hoping to get that confirmed here real soon. Then we got Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder. If you like a little bluegrass music, we throw that in there. That's going to be October the 16th.
You know what's so funny for me to look at Ricky Skaggs, because we all get old. We're all getting old. Face it. And to remember when he was a kid playing backup with some of the greatest.
Yes.
And now he's an old dude.
He is old.
He's an old dude.
He's an old dude, but he's still got the talent. Now,
I'm
let me
telling
tell
you, it's crazy.
I love to hear him play.
Yeah.
He is so good. And such a nice guy to talk to and meet, too. And of course, the Whites, you know, played with him a lot. And I just love Ricky Skaggs. He might be getting old, but he still knows how to play.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
And sing.
He's not
Very-
getting older, he's getting better.
Yeah, very talented.
There you go.
And then the last day of the Fall Festival, October the 17th, we have got Josh Turner booked. He'll be there, and his tickets are already on sale.
Who
so-
doesn't remember the long black train?
I know.
Yeah.
I will never forget
Yeah.
booking Josh Turner when the Long Black Train had just come out, and I was in Nashville booking talent for the next year for the fair, and I booked him, and our paid attendance was a little over 10,000 people that day.
Wow.
And I paid him. Paid him $12,500 is what I paid him. The next year I brought him back. I paid him $40,000.
That's a big difference. He
Oh
got a
my
little
gosh.
raise. Yeah.
But I remember the president of the fair was out there trying to help with traffic, and my gate chairman was out there trying to help, and nobody could keep up. It was so crazy. That's parked on the side of the road, and and around the music hall, everywhere they could be and find a place to park a car, that's one part. And I just remember the president of the fair comment, he said, Hilda, he said, we got it full, we can't take no more people. He said, there's 10,000 people here, and he's just guessing 10,000. But can you imagine that place with 10, it was our paid attendance was a little over 10,000 that day.
That's crazy.
And of course, under 12's free, that was crazy, but they come to see the long black train.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
that was
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we have the Appalachian Brew and Music Festival coming up October the 25th. This is about 75 breweries that will be there, and there'll be, you'll buy a ticket for the tasting, you'll go in and taste all the beer, and there'll be vendors set up, and we'll have all kinds of music. That's a really fun festival. People really like to come out to that. It usually brings about 3,000 people, so get your tickets. And then we also, one thing that I forgot to mention, we just got it booked, and actually the tickets are going on sale Thursday night, is Trace Atkins. He's going to be there the last day. I said Josh Turner was the last day, but I don't even have Trace on here yet. But the last day of the Fall Festival is October the 18th, and Trace Atkins will be there, and his tickets are going on sale, like I said, Thursday night at 10 o'clock on the internet, and then in the office on Friday morning. So get your tickets for Trace. He's a good one, too. I love Trace, and he always does well there. People love his music. And then on November the 7th and 8th, we got the Rats, Rods, and Horsepower. That's another car show. And we're
And people love cars, love engines, and love the sound of those exhausts.
They
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
a fun event to come to. But we're still working on a lot of other shows. We're trying to get Sarah Evans. We're trying to get the Oak Ridge Boys, maybe the Christmas concert for the Oak Ridge Boys. We just, got it out there to see who we can get. But watch our website.
And for anybody who hasn't been to the Georgia Mountain Fair, it's about everything. It's about food, it's about cars, it's about musical talent, it's about the history. There's so much. You don't need to go one time a year. You need to go.
Yeah, I had a guy tell me the other day,
Yeah.
he said, we've got concert tickets for just about every one of these concerts. And he said, we have to put them up on the refrigerator so we don't forget to go, he said.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He said, our refrigerator's full of, got the tickets all over the fridge so they don't forget.
And the great thing about it, it's a pleasant drive up there, but let's talk a little bit about the progress of the roads, because you're widening the roads.
The roads
Are they going to widen all the way to Hiawassee?
No, it'll go to Young Harris there. They'll do a bypass right there at the old EMC building in Young Harris, and it'll go that direction with the bypass. You won't have to drive through Young Harris anymore unless you want to,
Yeah,
when they get it all done. But yeah, it started. They've started construction and cleared, and it's kind of sad to see all the trees. And I know progress has to happen.
Yeah, on that video I posted, I said we're preserving the past and embracing the future. We have to embrace the future.
We do.
Because y'all wouldn't have existed without people every year coming back. But you reached a point a few years ago, even when my husband was still alive, we went up there for Georgia Mountain Fair, and the roads were packed, and people got angry, and everybody was ill because it's hard to get in there, and ran out of parking. So people want you to be prepared to accept them. If they drive that far, they want to find a parking place.
Absolutely.
They want to get there in a timely manner. So it's important that you do this.
It is important. I mean, it's very important. It has to be done. And I like growth. I just like it done in the right way.
Well, I said poor Zell Miller's probably rolled over in his grave because of all the trees that came down through there. Because when I was videoing, and I was like, oh my gosh, but it has to happen.
It has to happen to build the roads, that's for sure. And one last thing I'd like to mention is the Acoustic Sunsets up at Hamilton Gardens. We start that series on May the 8th. It's a free concert up there. We have food trucks. We have, it's Americana, bluegrass. It's singer-songwriter type music. There's a little stage up there, and you bring your lawn chair, or we got chairs, and come and enjoy that. It's just beautiful. Watch the sun go down. That's every Thursday night. We'll do like 4 weeks in May, starting in May the 8th. We'll do a spring series up there. Then the summer series will be down in Eller Hall, or inside the fairgrounds. It's down there on the lake. We have another stage down there, and we'll have food trucks, and you come and listen to the music down there. And then in the fall, we'll move it back to the gardens, and we'll have another 4 to 5 weeks up there, and it's every Thursday night. So make plans to come out and see that, and enjoy the evenings. And you can go, like I said, go to our website, GeorgiaMountainFairgrounds.com, and all this will be listed on there. So it's really, and the gardens are beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's so pretty.
And y'all, I got to say this, because I've been in there where these women who work for you and have worked for you for 100 years, they work hard, and those phones never shut up.
They don't.
They never shut up. They don't ever hush. they're just going on. Hello, 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 hello. And
When
I'm
you
like,
think about
holy
all
cow.
these concerts and tickets
Oh,
on
yeah,
sale for all
yeah.
these, then we have 217 campsites there on the
Yeah,
fairgrounds,
yeah.
and we take reservations for all those campsites. So if it ain't they're buying a ticket, they're wanting to camp. I mean, and sometimes they want to
Oh,
do
yeah,
both. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it's a beautiful place to camp. The Georgia Mountain Fair campground. We have two campgrounds, Area 1 and Area 2. Area 1's the older campground across the main highway, and then we have Area 2 on the side where the music hall's at. And all those have full hookups. There's a launching ramp there. You can put your boat in and just pull it right up to your campsite, you know. So
It's awesome.
it's beautiful.
And I want to encourage y'all, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to show you a little bit of us the day we went up there. We've got a 3-part special that shows you a little bit of different things you can do at the Georgia Mountain Fair. There is no point in getting on I-75 and going south to Florida. There's no reason to leave here. You can spend a holiday, you can spend a weekend, you can spend a week at the Georgia Mountain Fair with boating, with camping, and have a great time.
Yes,
There's no reason to give Florida your money.
and
So
hike the waterfalls.
that's right, that's right. So here we go.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Free game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
Welcome to our ETC Game of the Week. From McDaniel. That one is poked out in the out.
That one hits him in the head.
From Chris.
3-2.
Good lick.
Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Misty mountain, rainbow sky, a faraway look in your eye. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow. Hummingbirds out on the deck, your feet propped up and what the heck. You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. And we all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. It's alright, the mountain life. So plan a trip to Ellijay and see the bright red Georgia clay. From Notley down to Carter's Lake, all the memories to make. So much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod fords and mountain streams. Now you love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. We all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. And it's alright, the mountain life. It's alright, the mountain life. Y'all come by and see us anytime you can.
The mountains are calling, and they are closer than you think. Welcome to the Georgia Mountain Fair in beautiful Lake Chattooga. Two of my favorite things in life are water and a warm fire. Join us for a trip to North Georgia and a look back as we move forward. Almost 75 years ago, the Georgia Mountain Fair began welcoming visitors to the beautiful Towns County area. The general manager, Hilda Thomason, works tirelessly to book great talent, amazing vendors, and many wonderful reasons to visit Towns County. Barbecue or beef stew, there are often cooking competitions and wine tastings. Located on the shores of Lake Chattooga and at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we encourage you to get to know the area of North Georgia, minutes from Tennessee and the North Carolina line. The hills are filled with folks who still believe in life as taught by their ancestors, canning, gardening, and preserving the bounty of the land. Let's travel back to the days of yesterday with a trip through the Pioneer Village. Take a look at the old post office, schoolhouse, and the log cabin, much like your ancestors may have called home. Children love to visit the exhibit hall with the old tools and see the large collection of toy tractors. Learning the ways of the past often help us preserve it as we embrace the future. Washing clothes in the creek or hanging your ham in the smokehouse give you a sense of how hard the generations before us worked. Blacksmith, moonshine still, or quilting are all a part of the past seen during the summer fair or the fall festival. Let's take a trip down memory lane as I step into my favorite spot at the Georgia Mountain Fair. Wow, welcome to Anderson Music Hall and the Georgia Mountain Fair. I feel like I'm standing on sacred ground. This stage has welcomed so many amazing legends in music. From the Beach Boys to Loretta Lynn to George Jones to Merle Haggard, Gene Watson, Charlie Pride, you name it. There have been so many amazing talents standing right here where I'm standing. So I want to welcome you to sit down for about an hour. We're going to do a little bit of music. We're going to do a little bit of memories because the Georgia Mountain Fair is about to be 75 years old, and we want to celebrate them, celebrate all they've done for the state of Georgia, all they've done for music, and all they've done for families who have come here for almost 75 years enjoying just a little mountain life. How many of y'all have got grandkids, especially little boys, that would love to spend the day looking at all of this stuff that's just boy stuff, girl stuff, kids stuff, old folks stuff? There's something for everybody. There's just something in there for everybody because somebody's going to say, hey, my grandpa had one of those, or hey, my daddy had one of those, or hey, when I was a kid, I used to help Dad with one of those at the wood shop. I used to help to make syrup with one of those. There's so many things that will bring you back to your childhood or your grandparents' home. And you know what? I was thinking about, I don't know if we got any footage of the moonshine stills because Georgia is known for moonshine. And my granddaddy and his brothers made shine for years and years and years. That's how they fed their family. It isn't how they did anything illegal. It's how they fed their family, and that was a way of Georgia. And you will see things that show the way they got through those hard times. And they got through those hard times the best way they could. You know, if it weren't for these mountains and those moonshine runners, there wouldn't be a NASCAR today. So if you're a NASCAR fan, you better find you an old-time moonshiner and say, hey, bud, thank you for doing what you did because you got us out now on these big old tracks and we're racing really fast now. But when you think about the past and rural Georgia, whether it be South Georgia, North Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, rural areas really did create the hardest working people ever. And it's something maybe we ought to go back to some of those work ethics today because it was hard, it was tough. You slept good because you worked hard. You didn't have to worry about, Lord, I can't sleep tonight. You slept plenty good because you were tired. Folks worked hard, they produced what they ate, and they didn't do it with that big fancy equipment. They did it with some stuff with mules, and many people had a huge garden, and that's how they fed their family, and they did it with tools that you're seeing now. And that's what it's about. It's about remembering the past, being appreciative of the future. So we are trying to take you on a trip that will truly embrace, remember, and treasure the past as we move into the future, because the future is very different. Very different. Have y'all seen any iPads or iPhones in this display? No, you have not. You have not, but you have seen an amazing collection of what America once was. Now I'm going to take you now to a song that I owned a restaurant for years. And by the time Friday night came, I was tired and I was war-slapped down and I was ready for a little bit of rest. And the girls fuss at me. Okay, we got to see Lake Chautauqua and it just made me want to go get a pontoon and go out on the lake because there is nothing any more peaceful.
There's not. That lake is
absolutely
beautiful.
It's
really
beautiful.
Is.
And I think Ellijay, isn't it 7,100 acres?
7,300.
7,300 acres. Absolutely beautiful. So we hope that we have convinced you that you do not have to drive to Florida. You do not have to go to the beach. There are great restaurants. And you know, talking about staying at the fair, if you stay for a week, you can go to Waynesville and eat at Clyde's restaurant. You can go to Asheville and shop. You can go. The best Belks in the world is in Waynesville, North Carolina. I'll just tell you.
Oh, good to know.
I have loaded that black Suburban to the back door with stuff out of that store. So if you stay in Hiawassee, if you're at the campground, if you're staying in one of the condos there, you can go all over the North Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia area.
You can.
And
There's
see
plenty-
so much.
Yeah, there's plenty to do and lots of nice little places to shop. We have some nice little shops there in town as well. And then, of course, you know, Blue Ridge has nice shops. And Helen, you can go, and we're 30 minutes from Helen. We're 30 minutes from Blue Ridge.
Yep.
We're right on the North Carolina line. We're like 10 minutes from the North Carolina line. Rayburn County, Clayton, we're 30 minutes from. And Clayton has really done a good job downtown. All their shops and their restaurants and everything, it's so nice. And go and visit the wineries. There's some great wineries there in North Georgia. And talk about relaxing. That's really a fun thing to do on a weekend or a weekday or whatever, you know.
And you know, to see, I went into North Carolina, I can't remember the name of the vineyard, but I was going out there to get turnips from a place I had worked at before. And I love their turnip greens, and I love their mustard greens, I love their kale, they grow all this stuff. And so we happened on a winery up this road. And Vicki and I went in there, and we stood at the top of the hill, and we just saw all these acres and acres and acres. It was so beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
And I took all these pictures, and I said, you know, we think of North Carolina as just the mountains, but look at what the mountains are producing now.
Oh, I know. There's some of the best wineries around. I mean, and I think it's the way the land lays, the terrain, you know, it's good area for growing grapes and all. They have some of the nicest tasting rooms that they've built, but a lot of those wineries will be at our Hiawassee Highlands Wine Festival. We feel like that if you want to taste the wine and enjoy the music and everything, Mother's Day weekend would be a great place to be in Hiawassee.
That's right, that's right. And don't forget, tonight I am going to give away some tickets on my Facebook page. Go to Sherry Dobbs Martin, and you got to know who is Clint Black married to? That'll be the question, and I'm going to give y'all, you know, you can look it up. I know who she is. I don't know her personally, but I know who she is.
Right.
I know she is, and I kind of thought they were a weird combination too, but it must work. And we've got some tickets for other things I'm going to be giving away in the next week or so. Go to Facebook, keep up with us, but more than that, take a trip to the Georgia Mountain Fair and learn about, number one, the history. I mean, we spent so much time in the exhibit hall and still didn't see it all, you know, and we were there for hours.
Yeah, you can spend a lot of time there. And the big water wheel's always turning, and oh my gosh, you can just sit there and look at that. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful.
Peaceful,
it's beautiful.
right there on the lake.
And again, you can go to Lake Chateau Marina and you can rent a boat and you can be out on the water. And my prescription for happiness would be, this is sanity. Go early in the morning, rent a pontoon, get your breakfast, go out on the lake, park the boat in the water, and just sit there and enjoy your breakfast, a couple of cups of coffee, and just relax. And then as it gets hotter in the day, then bring the boat in, and then go to the music hall and enjoy music, go walk around the gardens. Just, you know, it's a day. It's a wonderful day.
There's a lot to do there, really.
Yeah.
Need to take advantage of it and enjoy God's nature, that's for sure.
That's right, and it is all breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking. And the lake, I don't know what I expected for the color, but it was gorgeous. It was turquoise, you know.
The water's beautiful, and it's a clean lake too.
Yeah,
you know, it's a TVA
absolutely.
lake, and it's just a beautiful lake. You can ski, fish, swim, jet ski, whatever you want to do. They have all kinds of bass tournaments there on Lake Chateau now. People come from everywhere to fish that lake. It's good fishing, and they love coming there and just enjoying it. It's just really a great place to bring your family, picnicking, and just relax and have fun.
Have fun, have fun. Well, we've had fun today, and it's time for us to get out of here. Time flies when Miss Hilda comes, but don't forget, I've got tickets and tickets and tickets that I'm going to be giving away on Facebook, so y'all pay attention. And tonight we will give away Justin Moore, and you're just going to have to be the first one to answer the question. So there you go. It doesn't get any easier than that. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And everybody check out all the information about the Georgia Mountain Fair. You can go to my YouTube channel, type in Sherry Martin, and then just put Georgia Mountain Fair, and a couple of different episodes will come up. We're doing it in like 30-minute increments, and so you will see more of that added to it regularly. And you will finally get to see the finale, which is the Christmas lights.
Oh,
so there you
yes.
go. We're building up to a big deal for that 75th anniversary. So congratulations to you. Lots of hard work.
Thank you.
Y'all, she's brought in millions of dollars to the state of Georgia, and state of Georgia owes you one of them big trophies. You need a big one. You need a big one. We'll see y'all again soon. Check it out on YouTube, and don't forget the old programs we're posting. You might see you on there because we've got 20 years of archives that we are adding to YouTube. See y'all again soon. Bye.